guys, it is launch day and we are 3 hours away from launching our shop update for this summer. We already did our huge summer launch back in May, but we are doing a little update with some new items that we wanted to bring back at the summer launch, but we just didn't quite have the time to get all the designs out and ready. So we are doing a little shop update for that launch. Since it isn't a huge launch, I thought this would be a great opportunity to walk you through my launch process. Whether you're a small business owner like me, or if you are just interested maybe in starting your small business, I thought it would be fun to share how I do my process, my routine, how I get everything situated for launch day. Because I think that there's so much work that goes into all of our handmade creations, and it's so nice to see how other people do it so you can learn maybe a different process, or maybe something you shouldn't do, or maybe something that will make your process go smoother. And yeah, so I thought it'd be fun to kind of walk you through behind the scenes on what I do for launch day. So before we get into the 3 hours of work that we have now, let's go back a few days from now and I will hand it off to that Victoria, and she's gonna walk you through how we do our photos and then just gonna walk you through how we add our product listings to our website. So once you're done watching that, then I will see you back here and we will get into the crunch time right before launch day. So see you soon. We're a few days away from launch day and we need to get our product photos taken so we have them ready to attach to our listings on our website. And I'm gonna walk you through exactly how I do this for my small business. I am not a professional photographer, so if you are and you're watching this, please, any tips you can give in the comments, or if you're seeing something I can do better, let me know. I'll take anything I can get. But this is what works for me. This is what's been working for me. I have a more like handmade photography type vibe. I don't like take out the wipe out the entire background and clean everything up so it's just the actual product. I like to set a scene on my desk, and I typically like it to be very consistent unless it's like a more seasonal vibe and I want it to have like a little Christmas touch or something else. But for the purposes of this launch, it's going to be kind of like how we take all those stock photos in our website as of now currently. So I'm gonna walk you through that. And little Coco's coming over here. She's getting her stretches in. Coming to help, Coco? Okay, you can help me all day long. Let me show you exactly how I set up my desk area and kind of what works for me. I've kind of mastered the way I like to do this just because, I don't know, anything that makes my life easier or having a routine is very helpful, because then I kind of just do it every single time and I can increase my speed as I get better and used to things, and kind of hone down the process. So what works for me, and kind of laying it out first before I actually walk you through it, is having all the items ready and laid out on my desk. So you can see here, they're all ready to go. This isn't a huge launch, more of a shop update. There would be a lot more items here if it was a larger launch, which we will be doing probably here in the next month or two. Details coming soon. It's not as big of a launch, and there's still a few items that I don't have out here on the table that I'm just honing in the last details. So anyway, I like to lay everything out, and then I like to set up my desk area. We do have natural lighting in our office, but it's only at specific times of the day, and we have to check the weather. I'm sure if you're a content creator or small business who also has to do content creation for marketing, you know that checking the weather and making sure it's not raining or cloudy is key. And so it is a bright and beautiful day today, but I get a lot of indirect light in this room. So I like to have it be as close to a window as possible, and that's where we are. There's a window right here coming in on my face. And so I'm gonna be setting up our photos to be right in front of my desktop, is normally where I take all of my photos. So I'm gonna set that up. We have our products ready to go. And then I also, before any of that happens, one small little tidbit is I get my nails done. I like to have my nails freshly done when I'm going to be taking photos for my website, because I don't need to have gaps of my nail beds be showing. So I got that done earlier this week. And then I also charged my phone, which is where I take all my photos. I have an Apple 17 Pro Max. So I have that fully charged. And what else? I think that's about it. Obviously I charged this camera and my microphone. So those are some other things I did to prep for this. But for the photos, you just need to make sure your camera is charged and ready to go. So anyway, let me start talking. Let's get into actually taking the photos and setting it up. Okay, so over here is like my little counter where I have my Shopify counter, which by the way, I need to reconnect this. We had some internet problems and it's currently not connected because we had to have our internet company come out and help us fix our internet. If you had watched a previous vlog of mine, like a week in my life and how I like manage a small business and my full-time corporate job, you'll see one night I was really struggling with the internet. It kept going off. And so now it's fixed. So I just need to like assemble that up. But anyway, that's why you don't see my numbers there. I like to use, oh no, we have a fallen leaf here. I like to use this little tray here to do all of my photos. So I typically take everything off this little tray, which isn't this the cutest? Brent bought that for me. So yeah, I'll take everything off of this tray and I have to make sure my binders don't fall. Okay, they're good. I'll take everything off this tray and this is what I use to kind of set the scene, have like a backdrop for my photos. So I'm gonna take this off and we're gonna bring it over to where we're gonna be taking the photos today. This is right in front of my desktop, which is currently like on top of these trays. And I like to have this green mat at the very bottom, but I don't need all this extra stuff. That's a laminator going off. So I need to kind of like set this up to be exactly how I like it for my stock photo. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. Another thing I use is this mat here, this like wicker kind of mat. I use that as a base as well. So I'm gonna grab that. I like to use things around my room, as you can see, for decor, but then like pull them out when it's time to take photos. I also like to use this pretty vase that I had found at HomeGoods. So this you'll see in a lot of my photos. I like to use this. And I also like to use this little clock that I also think I found at HomeGoods. So I will be using that. And then I use this little tray that I found on Amazon. So as you can see, it is a fairly simple setup. This is not like groundbreaking or revolutionary, but it's what works for my small business. I like to kind of have it be consistent across all the photos. I did not do that in the beginning. So if you go back and look at some of my previous photos, like older products on my website, you might see some different kind of layouts, or even with like the lighting and all that, because I was doing it downstairs near like French doors to my backyard. And so I realized that I need to like probably go back and retake all those photos so they're very consistent. Even though I do it here every single time I take photos, it's still very inconsistent with the lighting, just because I'm not using photography lights, I'm using the natural lighting. And so it can be challenging to have it be consistent across the board. So I need to figure that out probably here in the future as we start to really kind of hone in on some things. That is one thing I definitely want to do. But for right now, this is what's working. So I'm going to continue doing it like this. But the next thing that I do is I like to set up this stand that I use. And I think this is from a company called Canvas, I want to say is a company. I do really like this stand a lot. The only thing I have to say is I want to extend this out like super far. You can see how far it goes. It tends to like tilt. You see how it's tilting like that? So I have to put like something heavy on top if I'm going to be extending out super far. For the most part, I'm not. I'm typically like about here. So it works for me. And anything kind of works. Like if I set like a hole puncher on here, typically it'll keep it. Now the weight of my phone obviously will cause it maybe to tip and I might need something heavier, but Obviously, it depends on what phone you're using and all that good stuff and how far you need it to go. But I have to say it's been a really great resource for me. They also have a clip version that can clip to your desk, which is cool. So I'm gonna put my phone on here and we're gonna start taking these photos. Okay, another thing before we get started with the photos, and I know I keep talking, but I really wanna explain my thought process behind all this, is I have a lot of items that are very similar. I have savings challenges, paper clips, wallets, binders, things of that nature that are all kind of the same. And what I've been trying to do more frequently when I'm going to take my photos is double check how I've taken my photos before. And so like for instance, we have these 3-piece savings challenges. I'll show you. You see these here. These are our like 3-piece savings challenges with a mini challenge, regular sized challenge, and then the envelope that comes with it. And so there's 3 cute little pieces. And I want to make sure that in every single photo, no matter how many designs of these I have or variations of it, I want to make sure that it's kind of similar across the board. So you'll see they're not, because there's some that have like a cash inside the envelope and things of that nature. But I try my best to refer back to the photos I took before and then try to emulate it so they're the same. And you can see the same visual, but with the different style. So hopefully that'll help me be more consistent, but I'm going to start with those savings challenges first. That's why I mentioned that. So I'm actually gonna go on my website because girl, I do not remember how I took those photos. I can't even remember what I had for lunch tomorrow. See, I'm tired. Yeah, I'm gonna go onto the website. I'm gonna see how I took the photos. And it looks like I have 5 photos altogether. So I'm going to lay those challenges out and get my phone set up, and I'm gonna start with those, and then I'm gonna move on to the next thing. Okay, one thing I forgot is that I normally move this mat long ways like this. So this way the edge of the green shows. So let's reset this back up and see if this is how we need it to go. Yes, there we go. And basically I did that because on either side of this mat, there was the desk showing, and I didn't want the desk color showing on the edges. I just want the green. So that's kind of why I reset it up like that. So now I'm just trying to find the right, there we go. Okay, hopefully you guys can see this okay, but what I'm trying to do is, if you can see this little yellow thing right there, I don't know if you can see it on the screen, but there is like a little cross, and I try to center it in the image. And then you see I try to have the entire circle inside the frame. And so yeah, that's kind of what I do. And now I have the green coming all the way to the edge here, all the way to the edge there and there, whereas before it was like cutting off like right here. And I didn't like that. So now it looks good. So we're gonna go ahead and get started just knocking out these photos. The first item we're gonna start with is our little 3-piece set here. I've already referenced the photos I've taken before, so I know how to take them. And then I just press the little photo button, that's it. And so I have it on my other screen here, so I can kind of reference how the photos were taken before as I'm going through if I need to, because my memory might not be as good, and it's kind of angled like this. So I'm gonna go back to my camera, and I'm gonna make sure it looks good in the frame. And there's that. Perfect. And I probably will put these photos, because you can't see the photos, I'm probably going to put them on the screen as I'm taking them, at least for this first one. And then I will probably time lapse this because I have so many photos I need to take. that one is done. Now we're moving on to the next one. And typically what I do is off to the side, I'm gonna put these in a stack to show that they're completed. This next one is the Coco's Tiki Bar, which is so cute. I used to work as a bartender at Margaritaville, actually, in Myrtle Beach. And so I used to work the Lighthouse Bar a lot. And that's where this inspiration came from, was the Lighthouse Bar at Margaritaville. So you guys are asking me for my what I get inspired by in the Q&A type video, and it is real life experience. So now with this next one, I'm gonna do the further away photo and the closer up. So I'm just zooming in and zooming out of these. So you can see it more as a collection, and you can see it more as a, like the detail on it is kind of how I did the previous photos. So that looks good. Now, are all the angles the same? No, they're not going to be exactly the same, but they're pretty close. So Tiki Bar is done. On to the next, and you can see this is moving fairly quickly. This next one we're doing is Coco's Road Trip, and this is a little family of raccoons who are going on a road trip. I absolutely love this challenge. So I'm gonna go ahead and set this one up here. And then this one here is so cute. It is a the raccoons on their road trip, and each of the cars is $5. You'll save $5 that are along the path for each of those cars, which is so adorable. Okay, now I lost my train of thought. Where was I? I thought I'd bring you guys to this view so you can see there are little lines across your iPhone, or even like if you have a Samsung or a different phone, I'm sure that they have this. I try my best to ensure that it is centered correctly. Doesn't always happen because I am looking at an angle. I'm not like right in front of the desk taking the photos. I'm off to the side, so that can make it a little bit challenging. But yeah, we're done with this one, and now we're all done with these style savings challenges, and we're gonna move on to the next thing. Okay, so I do have other savings challenges that I need to do, including our pocket pieces challenges, and then also our Velcro style challenges. So I'm gonna wait on these because I wanna show you guys the paper clips and how I do the paper clips. So we're gonna start with this one next, which is our C-Class Mist Duo. One thing I've been doing in my shop lately, which I love, is I've been creating these custom backing cards for our specialty duos. In the past, these would just come on regular backing cards, but because like there's so much little specialty added in details in their duos, or or sometimes a trio, I like to include now a specialty backing card, just because it's a perfect little gift to give someone. Like this already comes like kind of ready to give somebody as a gift. And so I've started to do that, but one thing I've noticed is it really helps in product photos. When you're looking at my website, these really stand out. And so I really enjoy making these cards. The only downside to this, if you're thinking of doing something like that, is you have to constantly have them on hand. Like you'll see, I have a ton of little backing cards for different items here, and so I constantly have to have these like kind of ready and available. And so storing those, making them can be a little bit of a pain, but I think it's totally worth it. Like see here in this photo how it just stands out, but imagine if I were to take it off and just lay it here, right? The difference that it makes. So if you are making jewelry, or if you're making paper clips like me, or any type of item like that, I highly suggest using a backing card and making these, because it really stands out on your website or on Etsy. So definitely take a look at that. So with paper clips, I like to just center it in the middle, and I like to do like a really zoomed in version. and then a zoomed out version. And then I like to set my timer. And that's why I want my nails done. Kind of do something like this, where it's either both of my hands or one of my hands, like something like that. So I'm gonna press this and then we're gonna position ourselves. And so I think, like, look, that came out really nice, and you can kind of get an idea of how big the paper clips are because you have my hands. Let me take off the timer. And so I like to just do like an angled look so you can get it from a different perspective, or even like this here, and then get in really close, which sometimes is hard to do when you have it on the stand. We are releasing all the colors of our hearts. So I need to take an individual photo of all of these, and then I also need to take a photo of them all together because I want the landing picture to be all of the colors in one photo, so they know, like the customer knows, oh, these are all the colors that are available, rather than it just being like clear pink and then they click on it and then they see the colors. It should be all the colors as a landing photo. Series of paper clips is called Cora's Heart, and I named it after my sister Cora, and it was originally just in pink, but I wanted to release all of the colors as well. I've been kind of holding on to them and wondering what I should do, and I thought I should go ahead and release all of them because there's so many people who request colors of beads for each of their binders. So like at the top, they have a red binder and they'll have a red heart or a pink binder with a pink heart on it, and they really like it to be all matchy. And so I thought this would be a great way to release all of them. And then if I can find more colors, I certainly will add them. We also use the same teal hearts here on these backing cards, and it's also here in Cora's Heart. That's because this has our Cora's Heart wrapping with the gold wire, whereas in this one, there are specialty beads added on to these to give it like a little bit of extra specialness. So we're gonna try to do that in the shop, is have our specialty hearts like this, or the honey heart, which I'll pop up on the screen. And then we will have our Cora's Heart, which you can get in every color. So I hope that kind of makes sense if you are new to my shop and how we're doing that. So I'm gonna go ahead and set up my camera for these, get it back to where it needs to go. And now I alter the setup. I take the this off, and I like to bring this tray here in the middle, and I put this right back where it was. And the reason for that is there's like this marbling across the, tray, and I want the heart to stand out without the marbling behind it. So if I had not used that, let me show you. This is what it would look like. And so as soon as I pop the tray on here, I feel like it just adds in a little bit of extra. And I try to center this as best I can. It is like an odd shape, so it is a little bit more challenging. So my first thought is I'm gonna go and take photos of each of them individually, and then I'll do a group photo at the end. A lot of hearts here, so I don't think I'm going to be able to fit them across this tray. In the past, I've done stuff like this where it's like leaning kind of on the tray like that, but I still think we have way too many hearts to do that. So I am going to put this back where it was, and then I'm going to see how we can configure this. And I'm almost thinking of doing something like this, where it's in the center, and I'm just now coming up with this idea. And I don't know if I'm like doing this in the right order of colors. So y'all can come and hate me at in the comments for how I'm setting this up. But all right, I have 4 more to go. I don't think it's gonna fit. So let's see if we can back them out a little bit. That's still, we got 2 more, so I'm gonna back it up even more, maybe like to here. Hopefully that'll work. Probably have to adjust it after I get them all on here to make sure it like is centered. Okay, what do y'all think? Oh my goodness. I actually really like it. I think that that's pretty good. Okay, I'm happy with this. We're gonna take this photo now. And I'm gonna zoom in. Look at how beautiful. Okay, I'm really happy with this photo. I'm also gonna take an angle photo like this from a couple different angles that are different than the ones I've been taking on the stand. While I have it set up like this, I'm gonna take a little video. And I might even take a photo of you guys, or a video of you guys. Okay, so now I have taken some photos, which is great. And I've also taken some video, because then I can use that for my actual thumbnail, or not my thumbnail, but for like a little clip to like come watch this YouTube video when it's time. And then I might take a photo of the camera too in the setup, just so when it's time to do a thumbnail, maybe I can have something ready for that. All right, so that is kind of how I do my photos. I know it's not a perfect system, but it is what works for me. I just wanted to give you like a little sample. I'm not gonna go through every single item. I just wanted to give you a little taste of what's been working for me when it comes to that. And hopefully there'll be something here that might be useful to you if you're also a small business. And yeah, if you have any questions that I maybe didn't cover or something you'd like to know, please put it in the comments below. Be happy to answer. Or if you have any suggestions for me, happy to take suggestions anytime. I definitely could use all the help I can get. I'm gonna go ahead and take the rest of these photos and shut off my camera, and I will see you guys tomorrow, where we will be putting all of these items into the website, onto our Shopify account. And I'm gonna try to take you guys through that process. I've never done like an online website type update with you guys here on YouTube, but I thought it might be fun to show you what works for me when it comes to uploading things on the website and how I maximize my time, because it can be very time consuming coming up with product descriptions, also coming up with names for products if we don't already have a name for the product, and then kind of like laying everything out inside the website. And I'm going to show you how I do it without shutting my website down, because I feel like that is the most useful thing, as I love being able to keep my website open until like an hour or 2 hours before launch day, so I can make my final edits. So I'm gonna try to take you through that whole process as well. Maybe you'll learn something new, or maybe you'll be able to teach me something new in the comments. I am still trying to navigate Shopify. There are so many different advantages of having my own website, and Shopify makes it so easy, but I do not know all the tricks yet. So I'm still learning a lot. So yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow for updating the website. All right, guys, it's the day before launch, and we need to go ahead and get all of our products into our Shopify website. I'm sorry for my appearance. I just came home from the gym, took a quick shower, and threw on some comfortable clothing. This is actually, I'm repping my mom's restaurant, Woodhaven Pancake House. This is some of her merch, and it is like the most comfortable little crew neck, and I love wearing it. So I am all in my cozies. We need to go ahead and get all of our items into our website through Shopify. I need to go ahead and add descriptions, names for each of the items. If they don't already have a name or have not already created one, I need to create one. Descriptions, as I said, and then I need to add all the variations. I need to add all the details for every single item into our website. We think we have anywhere between 25 to 30 different items for this update. So it is like on the smaller end, and that includes like all the variations for like the different colored paperclip hearts and things like that. For our bigger launches, I definitely like to do this way in advance, but I tend to procrastinate. That is like one of my things. And I don't want to like be too hard on myself. I'm not really procrastinating. It's just that I work a full-time job, and I'm trying to work out in between that and do Crafted by Coco and create items and fulfill orders and all the things. So I think I have like kind of a good excuse to be doing it the day before launch. But if you can try to do it earlier, I try to, because it just makes my life easier. I'm going to try to walk you through how I do it. Maybe not exactly like how to add a new item onto the website just because there's so many different tutorials on YouTube that can walk you through that in a much better way than I can. But I do want to show you how I put my listings on my website, and I do it so I ensure that I don't forget any of the items. And we'll go through little tips and tricks that I have that makes this process go a little bit quicker. That's kind of what I want to share with you tonight. And this is like my routine every single time. This is what I do, and I'm going to show you exactly how I do it. Okay, before I start adding everything in the website, I thought I'd just show you what's happening on the other side of the room. Brent is over here working on orders on paper clips, and he's watching his little YouTube, and little Coco's over here, and she is just sleeping away. Are you tired, baby? She's a little tired girl. And then if we come underneath here, little Kinsley's under the bed. Look at that little face. And she just got her stitches out today. So we went to Brown Dog and got a little pup cup for the two of them. So she does no longer has to wear the donut. If you follow me on Instagram, you might have seen little clips of her wearing a little donut around her neck because she was getting spayed finally. So anyway, let's get back to the computer. I think I'm going to do this on my laptop, and I'm going to quickly explain what works best for me. So as you know, yesterday we took all of our photos. So that's kind of my jam, is I make sure all the items are fully prepared, every single one, and then I take them all the pictures at the same time, so I get the same sunlight and all that stuff. And the same kind of setting. And then what I like to do is after I'm done taking pictures, then I like to go ahead and kind of edit the photos up a little bit. I try to my best not to like completely alter them, but I like to increase the brightness. So here I have a picture of our Palm Market, and let me, for instance, turn all my brightness up so you can see. Overall, the picture looks, really bright and nice and all that, but I like to add and increase just a little bit of brightness. So I'm going to just swipe to the right and show you like a before and after. So this is a before and then an after. So you can see like there's just a slight difference in brightness. Go to this here on my iPhone, click adjust, and then I like to increase the exposure and then the brilliance and then the brightness. And that's about all I'll do, is just add a little bit of brightness into the image. So yeah, that is kind of my jam. And then once I'm done editing one photo, I will copy that to all my other photos, and I'll show you how I do that. I'm going to revert this image back to the original form, and you can see how the brightness shifted. I'm going to go to this photo, which already has the brightness added and all the edits I've done to it. And I'm going to click copy edits. Once I click copy edits, I'm just going to click copy again. I'm going to go back to this photo, and then I'm going to do paste edits. But if you want to do multiple, like if you have multiple photos like I do here, then I can come up here and I can press select. And for instance, I haven't done these two, and I don't think I've done these ones here at the bottom. I'm going to click them and highlight them so they're all selected. And then I'm going to click paste edits. And then it's going to paste it to all the photos that I need it pasted to. Now these have been adjusted. And if you're wondering if it adjusted or not, you can just go straight back into here and you'll see a revert sign came up, meaning that it was adjusted. So now we have all of the pictures edited. We have them, the brightness kind of turned up on them, and we have them ready to go and add them to our listings once we have them ready on the website. Y'all are super crooked. What I like to do now and how I make this process move along quicker is I like to go to the beginning of my camera roll. So I go to the first photo I took. Y'all all know yesterday we had all of our products lined up for our launch, and one by one I took pictures of every single one. Now they're edited. Now I need to add them to the website. And so I will scroll all the way back to the beginning of my camera roll, and one by one, I will look at the first photo and be like, okay, this needs to have a product listing. I will go into Shopify, create a new product listing, create a name, create a description, and then create the variations. And then I add the photo. So that's kind of what I do every single time. I go to the beginning of my camera roll, and if I go to the first item, it needs a listing, it needs a product description. Any variations, I go ahead and add them in. And then I add the quantity of items. For the most part, most of our items we make in-house. So for quantity, we don't really have to be ultra specific about the quantity on everything unless they're a bead that was like more of like a limited time bead that we could find and we can't resource it, or if it is a binder or wallet or something we had manufactured from another company that we sourced them from. So, but for the most part, our quantities are very high. We'll put like 1,000 units into our envelopes or sometimes our paper clips. And then we will also click, there is a button on Shopify that you can click continue selling when out of stock. And we'll click that a lot for our envelopes and things of that nature. One tip that I can give you that is super helpful and I use every single time I go to add new listings and new products onto my Shopify account is I always duplicate similar products. So if it is a cash envelope, a new collection of cash envelopes, a new savings challenge, even paper clips, I will find a similar item that I've sold before. And probably the most recent item I've sold before, and I will duplicate it, especially if it has the variations I'm looking for. I don't want to have to go in and create A6, A7, A9, A8, A5, A6 slim, A6 wide, all those things. I don't want to have to add all those variations in over and over and over again. And so I will just go in, duplicate that product, put the name in, add the description, and then change and alter the little things like that. That is the biggest tip I can give you that will save time, is duplicating your listings. And then the next thing that saves me time is going through my photos from the top to the bottom and just pushing them out, getting the descriptions in, getting the names in. That's just really helpful and it keeps me on track rather than looking at the physical item in my hand on the desk. That just, I don't know, it confuses me. Like, I don't want to have a pile of products on my desk. I already did that yesterday when I took photos and I've cleaned up from there. I don't want to do that again. So I just look through my photos and I go through each one like that. I can't tell you how much that saves me time. It seems like just such a small little silly thing, but it's been super helpful for me and I haven't stopped doing it since I started. And then what I do is, because it's late, it's like 8 o'clock almost, I will add all these descriptions in. Once I'm done adding the descriptions and the titles and the variations, then I'm kind of wiped, right? Like, it's late, Brent's cooking us chicken Caesar salads tonight. I want to go downstairs and kind of relax a little bit and kind of get prepped for tomorrow morning and have a good night's rest. While I'm downstairs and he's cooking me a delicious dinner, I will be on my phone and I will be on my Shopify account on my phone and I will be adding the photos to all of my listings. And yes, I could, since I have a Mac, I can and I have an iPhone, I can go ahead and have everything be transferred over, but I don't want to waste time doing that here when I could be doing it like remotely from my desk downstairs, kicking my feet up and, hanging out with the pups and Brent a little bit. So that's kind of what my typical routine is I upload everything into the computer, listing names, variations, then I add the photos later when I'm downstairs. And then tomorrow morning, we'll go through all of that. Tomorrow when we get up in the morning, there's a whole other set of things I do on launch day. And by the way, I'll say this, I am not an expert on launching things or doing shop updates. I am 3 years into my shop. If you are new here, I am 3 years into my shop and still learning quite a bit. So if you do have any tips or suggestions from watching this, please feel free to put it in the comments. I will take any suggestions, any help I can get. But this is what seems to be working for me. And I know one thing that I can improve on is not waiting till the day before, 2 days before launch time to do these things. But it is kind of like a last minute thing for us a lot of times during these launches, just because it is a lot to juggle between working our full-time jobs, making orders that need to go out, designing new products, and then keeping up with the website and social media and all the things. And I know if you're a small business owner, you totally get it. So yeah, sometimes it's the last minute that we end up doing these things. And so anyway, let's go ahead and start adding the products into the computer. I'm not sure how I'm gonna film this, but we'll see how it goes. So I'm about halfway through putting all, hey Kinsley girl, come here. What you doing, baby? They know it's time for dinner. That's why they're heading downstairs. They've already eaten, but they can smell Brent cooking chicken. So yes, you can, baby. You smell that chicken. I think Brent might be making them some little chicken with no seasoning. Oh yeah, that would be good. Kinsley sometimes makes little oinks like a pig. Woo-woo. You got something to say? Yes, you do. Anyway, Brent is making dinner and he's almost done. So I'm about halfway through. As I said, there's not as many products and I'm pretty good once I get into a groove. I've got about half of them done. So I'm gonna go downstairs and eat. I'm gonna come back up. I might even bring my laptop with me downstairs because I'm actually working pretty well on it. I typically use my desktop to do all this. If I use my MacBook, I have to have a mouse. I am not good at using the little mouse on a laptop. It's not for me. I have to have my ergonomic mouse. I don't know what it is. Anyway, I'm going to go down and eat. And then what I'm going to do from there is add on the rest of the products. As you've seen, kind of get into a groove. And then once I'm done with that, I'm going to jump on my phone and just start adding the pictures in. After I'm done putting the pictures in, then I'll click preview on the actual listing. And I can, as a shop owner, I can actually preview what it looks like on the website. So I like to do that after I add the pictures in. If it's getting like super late tonight and I don't want to do that, I'll wait and do that in the morning. But I'm hoping we'll have enough time to preview everything, make sure all the variations look correct. So on your end, when you guys go to shop, it all looks right. That is going to be my goal. I'll check for any mistakes. Obviously, I'm human. I make a ton of mistakes and you guys tell me, and I really appreciate it because sometimes there's just so much and I overlook. So I will try to go through everything and make sure there's nothing that is wrong. That's kind of what I will do for the rest of this evening. And then tomorrow morning, we'll pick it back up for our shop update, which is at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But yeah, we're just going to get the rest of this done tonight for the product listings and the photos. And then I will see you guys tomorrow for actual our shop update and launch. So yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow. Now that you guys have seen how we do our product photos and our product listings, it is now time to get into the crunch time right before we launch. Just to kind of walk you through what I do on my typical launch mornings, which I haven't shown you on camera, is I like to wake up early. And so this morning I woke up at 6:30 this morning and I like to take it a little bit slow. Obviously, I'm so excited every single launch day that I don't really get the best rest because I'm just so excited, I guess is a way to put it. Maybe there's multiple different emotions going on there between excited, nervous, stress, all the things, making sure I didn't forget anything. That is why I keep a planner so I can write down everything and there's less I have to hold in my brain. So let's go through what exactly I need to do on launch day right before we launch. So one thing that I do is I don't like to close my shop down. I know a lot of small businesses will like shut their shop down for multiple days or before they launch to make updates. I don't like to do that. And I've like kind of been on the fence, should I not? And I didn't. And I actually got like $300 of orders overnight between Friday and Saturday, which was like crazy to wake up to. That is not typical for my small shop. And so when I woke up to that, I'm like, wow, I really shouldn't shut my shop down because, you know, that is a customer who could have wanted to place an order at that time and it wasn't available to them. And also I could have missed out on some sales for my small business. And as you know, every sale really counts for a small business. I kind of have decided, and this may change, who knows, that I don't want to shut my shop down to do my edits. So I do a lot of my edits in draft mode, which you saw. That's how I upload my products. I upload them into draft mode a day, 2 days, however far advance I can, which typically isn't very much in advance, but I try my best. Anyway, I do it a lot in draft mode, but then when it is like an hour to 2 hours before launch time, I will shut down the shop. So this way I can make edits to the website freely. And when you come on the site, everything looks really pretty and it's all set up for how I want you to see it. So last night I did upload all the pictures from my phone to all the listings. The only thing I didn't do is go into each product and preview the photos and make sure that they all look good and they're like in the order that I want. So I need to do that right now. That's going to be the first thing I do. And then when I'm done with that, I want to go into Canva and I want to create like a, on my website, you'll see I normally have like a banner or 2 banners. And so I want to create a banner for this launch highlighting a few different items. So I'm going to create that. I also want to check the collection layout. So I added all these new products into a new collection and I called that Shop Update June 27, 2026. And that is typically what I do is I will change it to that. And I think I actually might have put it as 26 instead of 27 because I created the collection yesterday. So I might need to check that. And the reason I do that is because I want to be able to in the future go back and see how that collection like did for because you can pull reports on these things. So if I wanted to pull a report on this update, I want to be able to like go back to that date even 1 to 2 years from now. If I wanted to, I might not, but at least I know like when the date was and when it happened. Basically, I link that collection page to the main page. So they're all the items that you're seeing when you come onto my landing page. And I like to just check the order. I want the order to be exactly how I want it. And I don't really have like a full-fledged idea on how I like to do this every time. I don't typically always do like highest price items to lowest price items. You can filter it that way. You can filter it newest to oldest, best sellers to least sellers or whatever. But since these are all brand new items and they've never been, released to our shop, I am going to kind of like just have a natural flow. I like to look at the visual of it and see how it looks. There's some items that I've obviously posted on social media that I know are getting like a lot of love from you guys. So I'll typically try to put those towards the top because I want you guys to be able to see it and click it and you know where it is rather than having to search. And so that is probably something I'll do. There's a few items that you guys are really excited about. So I'll probably add those closer to the top. Because I've been talking a lot, let's go back to the beginning. I need to check all listings and check the photos and preview them. Then I need to create a main page banner on Canva. I need to update the collection layout. And then I want to update the main page too. That I will do like when I shut the shop down, I will go into the main page and I will update the big photos that are listed there. So I want to do that as well. And so, yeah, I think that is kind of the to-do list today. Obviously, I've posted a couple times on social media this morning. I posted a few items later last night too. My social media game for this launch has not been that great, I'll be honest, because I've been kind of on a time crunch. I have had a doctor's appointment this week. Kinsley got her stitches out. And so there's been a lot of things in my life that are happening that are causing me not to have a lot of time to get my social media game together. So I would say definitely make sure that's on point when you're doing launches to be posting every single day. I posted photos yesterday of our sticker savings challenge. I've posted a couple reels, but I really would have liked to post more reels and even like voiceover reels. And so that is something that I'm going to put on the list for what I could have done better. And so, yeah, anyway, let's get into the first thing, which is I need to preview all of these listings. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I am not going to be talking to you guys through the whole thing because I have so much work to do that I don't want to be distracted, to be honest with you, and I want to get this work done. Let's go ahead and preview all these listings, make sure they look good, make sure all the variants are where they need to be, and that the descriptions do one last little double check on everything before we get all this launched. So I just pulled up my phone because I needed to check something on my Instagram. And when I pulled it up, I saw so many of you guys have already been responding to one of the posts I did on my story just now, which was the Narwhal pocket pieces. I'll put like a visual here for you to see. And I have so many sweet messages. For instance, I'm going to shout out Catherine. She just placed her first order a few weeks ago, and she said she's so excited to place another order. So thank you so much, Catherine, if you are watching. And she said, I can't wait to be part of the Coco Club with a K. And I just have to say, I love you guys so much. You have no idea that, and this is one of the challenging parts when you're on lunch day, is like, I just want to talk to you guys. I want to show you everything all at once. And because my social media game hasn't really been on point this week, I'm kind of showing you guys things last minute. And my goal is to always have like almost all the products shown on Instagram or YouTube shorts, so you guys can see it in advance and know what's available. But I haven't really been able to do that in this launch. So I'm getting messages from you guys now, and I just love that. I love on launch day, you guys getting so excited and pumping me up. And I don't know, it's just like my favorite part. I think about launch day when I'm thinking about doing all this prep. That's probably my favorite part, is having you guys message me and post your stories saying I placed an order. All of that, just like, it fills my soul. It like pumps me up. It energizes me. And I just like can't thank you guys enough. And it's already starting to happen right now from this couple stories. One thing I can improve upon with my launches is obviously having all this done like way in advance. So on launch day, I'm just enjoying my coffee and I'm talking to you guys on Instagram. I'm posting things, and then I just come over here and click the button. But I don't know, I kind of wait a little bit too much to the last minute. And that is something you can learn not to do from me. But I don't know, I keep telling myself to take it easy on myself. And so that is definitely one thing I want to improve on in my future launches. But anyway, that was just a side note. I need to get back to work. I'm going to message you guys back here real quick on Instagram and then continue checking these product listings. Such a good thing that I am double checking everything, because I last night had put pictures in the wrong place. So we have a Cove mermaid, so they're otter mermaids. We have a Velcro edition, and then we also have the pocket pieces edition. Well, I put the pictures in the wrong place. So yeah, good thing to always double and triple check. While I'm in here, I'm also checking quantity and price as well, because sometimes, you know, especially if I made that mistake, I want to double check everything. So I'm almost done, and then I'm going to pick the camera back up when I am finished, and we're going to move on to the next thing. All the product listings have been previewed, and we found a couple errors, so that's good that we went through that. So I'm going to check that off the list. Actually, I just got these new highlighters. I'm going to use one of these, and I'm going to highlight it off. This is so satisfying. Whoop. Okay, so now I want to go to the collection layout, and I'm going to just kind of check the layout. It is much easier to do this when my shop is closed, because then I can like visually see it on the website. Right now, I kind of have an idea in my head of how I want it laid out, so I'm going to go ahead and set it to that. But then when I shut the shop down, make all these new items active rather than draft, I can then see it on the page without you guys being able to see me work and move things around, because the shop will be closed. So I'm going to go in the collection. I'm going to try to put it in the order I want, but then we can like nitpick it later when the shop is closed and we're in there kind of free will working through that. So anyway, that's what I'm going to be working on now. The thing I've updated from my shop from when we first started is this desktop I'm working on is the desktop that my dad actually built me when I went to college. He was a very computer savvy person, and he loved to build things. And that is one thing he built for me when I went to college, and I will always keep this desktop as long as it will run. But we've updated the monitor. Brent got me this curved, really big monitor for Christmas one year, and I absolutely love it. It is so helpful to do a split screen. So I love keeping my Crafted by Coco homepage website here. And so you can see this is the summer drop from our collection that we launched for the doggy bag. But I haven't updated since that launch. I have not touched it. And that's one thing I need to get better at too, is just coming in here and refreshing and moving the items around, or even just changing out the banner and doing little small touches, because it's been probably close to 2 months. No, it's been over a month, like a month and a half where I haven't updated this. But I love having the split screen so I can see be working in Shopify over here, and then over on this side, actually see it like as it's getting updated. The collections are done, so we can go ahead and cross that off the list. I kind of put them in order, but obviously when we go to shut the actual website down, we'll check the layout and see how we visually like it on the main page. The next thing we need to do is go into Canva and take some of the photos that we've taken, the product photos. We need to kind of put them into a nice, what do you call it, like banner for the website. So I'm going to create that. This one takes me a little bit of time because I'll like start with the design and then I don't like it, and then I'll like try something different. I probably won't take you along while I'm doing that in Canva, just so I can save some battery, because I think I'm at 58% and I might actually plug y'all up so I have enough battery for when we actually go to launch. But just to give you an update on time, we've been up here, I think we started around like 8:30, 9 o'clock that I came up here, but it's 9:50. So we've got 2 hours before we need to launch. I feel like the timing's really good. So I'm gonna create this banner, and then we'll probably shut the shop down, I'd say like at 11. So that gives me like an hour and 10 minutes right now, because it gives me a little bit more time. I might take a couple of the products. I have them all laid out on this table over here. I'm gonna take one of them out and film like a quick reel for social media, because I have nothing prepped for this morning. I should have done that. Another thing that I could have done better for this launch. Anyway, I'm gonna get this banner and then I'm gonna pick you guys up here in just a little bit. Okay, so I just finished the banner for the website and I kind of want to show you what it looks like. Okay, so this is going to be the banner that is at the top of the website. I really like it because it says hello summer, and then it also features 3 of our products here and has some tropical vibes, which is kind of what I'm going for more with this update, is more tropical vacation type pastels and fun colors. I am going to now shift gears. I'm gonna get a little reel together that I can post and edit and post before we launch. And then I'm gonna shut the website down around 11 o'clock. So I have about 50 minutes to do a reel and post it. Okay, I decided to post a little reel. I'm gonna show you guys a little bit behind the scenes, but I am posted up over here in front of my pegboard, and I am taking short little clips of the items that we're launching today. And I thought that would be kind of nice, since I haven't been able to show you guys every single product through my social media. I thought it'd be fun to do like, hey, it's launch day. Let me show you what my small business made for this launch. So I am going to show you guys me filming that, but I'm probably gonna time lapse it and put some music over it because I need to get this done quickly. I only have like, I think another 40 more minutes or something like that. Okay, I just got done filming that. I'm gonna do like one little short clip for the outro, and then I'm gonna start editing it. My Small Business is launching new items today as a shop update from our summer collection, and we are so excited to share all the designs and things we've been working on behind the scenes, but we have so much to do, like creating product listings, uploading all the photos, and checking everything on the website to make sure it's ready to go. And of course, we're filming for you too. But let's go through all the items coming to the shop. We've got our Chorus Heart, the Palm Market Savings Challenge, Petals in Paradise Savings Challenge, Sea Glass Mist Duo, White Cap Atelier, and no, I'm not French, Pearl Boost Moonshell Planner Charm. Wow, that's a mouthful. Nomad's Treasure Halo, Dreamweaver Halo, Wish Upon a Star Halo, our Pretty Pocket Cove Mermaid Savings Challenge, the Mermaid Cafe Sticker Savings Challenge, and of course our cute Pocket Velcro Savings Challenges that you love so much. I hope you love the new designs we've been working on. See you at launch. We are a little bit behind, but we just posted the reel to Instagram, and I actually really like how it came out. I did a voiceover and showed clips of a lot of the items, especially the ones we haven't shown like on a post or a reel. I've just showed in stories. I wanted to go ahead and add those as short clips, and I did a voiceover for not describing, but giving the name of each item. So I just put that together real quick, and I'm so excited that that is done. But it is 11:10 now, so we need switch gears. I'm gonna shut down the website and I'm gonna get the final edits into the website now. We are less than an hour away, and I'm so excited. I can't wait to get everything listed on the website. Okay, Brent just came back from the store because I need an SD card. I have like 45 minutes left on the camera to film, and we're about 40 minutes away from launching. And so I just quickly updated the online store, like the banner and then the photos that are on the homepage. We are in Password Protect, so I am going to now mark all the items as active, so then I can look at the layout of the collections on the homepage. So let's go ahead and get all that done. Okay, so the other thing I noticed is the chorus heart is still in draft mode. So I need to come in here and set that active. So I'm gonna do that, and because that should be up here at the top too, and that'll change the way this is laid out. Yeah, so you see here we have the different savings challenges and the chorus heart, then this tropical ones. So I think this layout looks pretty good. I don't know if I like these two together. Maybe I will split those up on the website. And then, what is it, Kinsley? Up to 14. I know, baby, it's almost time. We got 30 minutes. I know. Yeah, are you excited to launch? Are you guys excited? What you gotta say, Kinsley? Kinsley's really excited. Yes. All right, let's quickly go through the to-do list because we have about 30 minutes till launch. So we have updated the main page. Yes. We have checked all of the listings. We've already done all that. We've updated the collection layout. We've created the visual for the main page. We posted the reel. The only thing that I noticed a few mistakes, and so did Savannah at SavSave. So thank you, Savannah, for messaging me, is the dragon fruit on the fruit collection. Let me grab it and show you. When I was taking these photos the other day, I didn't notice it. But then when I look back at the photos last night, on my fruit cutout challenge, which is called the Palm Market, the dragon fruit here says pick each pineapple. So I don't know if you guys can see that. This is obviously not a pineapple. This is a dragon fruit. But what had happened is I had copied the text from here over to the dragon fruit and forgot to update it. I wanted it to say slice each dragon fruit for $5. I obviously updated the price on it, but I didn't update the text. The rest I did, so I double checked that. But the photos, unfortunately, were so close to launch, and I knew that like last night, I might not have time to retake the photos today, especially because I'm filming. I do need to take photos of this, so I'm gonna set it over to the side and add it to my calendar as a to-do list once we're done launching, because I'm not gonna have time to update that right now, but we will do it later. I did add a little note to the listing that says, there's a little mistake on the dragon fruit. It's supposed to say this. So hopefully you guys will see that. And if you have any questions, obviously reach out and let me know. And yeah, so there's always gonna be little mistakes and things that we do along the way. The thing I've learned is there's always gonna be mistakes that you make every single launch. I think every launch I've always had a mistake. So I try not to be too hard on myself. Obviously, I try to be as close to perfect as I can, but I know I never will be perfect. I know I won't probably even get close to perfect. That's the only advice I can give you if you are a small business and you're prepping for a launch is just take it easy on yourself. You're gonna make mistakes, and you have wonderful customers out there that will let you know what's going on, or you'll have other people in the same niche or community as you that are probably going to be on your site or on your webpage or looking at your reels or whatnot and telling you, hey, this has a spelling error, or I couldn't click on this item, or something's wrong. And I have to say that that has been such a saving grace, is to have great customers and great friends in the community that will tell you when you have errors. And hopefully I can catch them all myself before you guys see them, but that is not always the case. And so it's great to have friends out there that are looking out for you. We are about, I think 3 minutes, let me check, 2 minutes from launch. And I need to set up my phone real quick because I want to try to get some footage of the counter having sales, and then I don't know where to put y'all. So we're kind of like in a crunch time here. I don't know why I wait till last minute to do some of these things. So you can kind of see me and you can see the counter. Okay, let me check the time. We've got 1 minute, so I need to go to online store preferences. And then I'm going to click the button when the time starts. So we're at 11:59 right now. And our counter is at 25:15. Okay, it's 12 o'clock. I'm clicking the button. Our shop is now live. Let me go ahead and press start on my phone. Hopefully you guys can see this, but we have 14 live visitors on the site. We have 7 active carts. And for some reason, my desktop isn't like updating, but we've had 2 sales come through the Shopify counter. So, oh, there's one that just posted through, and we just haven't had the next one post. But we do have a lot of people around the globe. I'm so excited to see all of you guys here. Thank you so much for coming to support our shop. I mentioned this in a previous video for the doggy bag, and what I'm going to start doing now is if you place an order on launch day, at the end of these videos that I'm doing for launches, I'm going to put your name on, not your last name, just your first name. I'm going to put your name as like a rolling credits, showing that you supported on launch day. And I know many of you guys support like on Sunday and even later down in weeks to come, but I just have to kind of limit it to some like one set of time frame. And so I figured launch day is probably the easiest. So we typically always launch on Saturdays at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So any orders that come in from 12 until the end of today, I'm going to list your name on the end of this YouTube video, like a rolling credits. And yeah, so if you ordered, make sure to stay till the end of the video so you can see your name at the end. I don't think Shopify is updating because I think we've had 2 sales come through, but it's only showing 1. So I'm not sure exactly why that is. And so I'm not sure if these visitor counts are correct. I refreshed the page. Okay, so now it went down to 13 and we still have 7 active carts. So I don't know, maybe it's just having a hard time uploading all the info. This launch doesn't really have like a lot of items where it is like a limited time only and you need to get it or it's gone type thing. Oh, there's another one. Okay, now it's moving. Okay. So I'm not really expecting like everybody to rush like it is like for our doggy bags or our mystery bundles. I don't expect a lot of people to, rush to the website to get everything or it's going to be gone. And I didn't want to create that sense of urgency because I didn't feel like there was a need to, because it's not a limited time release. So these items will be posted for quite a while. So if you're watching this video, they're probably still available on our website. So go check it out at craftedbycoco.com. I'm trying to go to my orders to read out your names, and I only see, I think we've had 3 sales so far, but I'm only seeing 2 names, which is Danny and Quiana. So thank you both. Thank you so much for shopping with us. Okay, so now it's gone up to 10 active carts and 2 are checking out and 2, it looks like 2 have purchased, but like I said, I'm not sure if this is updating. And so we've had 2 orders, actually it shows go through so far. And both of those orders were really big. So thank you, Kiana, and thank you, Danny, so much for shopping with me. And for everyone else who is on the site, I'm so happy I got to walk you guys through my process today and be with you guys here on launch day. I haven't done too many launch day videos. I'm trying to be better about being ahead of the game so I can share with you guys more behind the scenes and walk you through my process. And maybe you will see in future future videos, my launch day prep gets even better and I get a little bit more, efficient with my process. As I said, this is what's currently working for me, and I'm sure I will fine tune it as I grow in Crafted by Coco in our small business, but it's what works for me now. And I hope you guys have gotten learned some things along the way. I don't know. If you have any questions, I'm certainly happy to answer any of your questions. I am complete open book and would love to share with you all. Thank you guys so much for coming along on this journey with me for this launch. It was so much fun sharing with you guys our process and how we do things. And I'm sure there are a lot of things that we can improve upon. And you guys are probably watching, like, how does she get anything done when she's all over the place? But I try my best, and I'm hoping maybe something I've shared with you along this path can help you or give you insight or even share with you guys what not to do. But hoping that in the future I can do this video again where I'm sharing you guys my launch prep, and maybe I have improved. Maybe I'll be more efficient by the next time I film this type of video. But I really appreciate you guys being here and following along on our journey and how we're growing in our small business. Brent is currently making orders right now. The girls are taking little naps, but I am starving, and I know Brent is too. So I think I'm going to sign out here, and we're going to go get some lunch, and I will see you guys in the next video. And real quick, if you have any questions or have any advice, anything you want to ask at all, please put it in the comments down below. I would love to help you if I can. And yeah, I hope to see you guys in the next video. Y'all take care.
Hello, Mona. I push back the serious feeling, the end's unknown, to get back the life I used to know. I stand alone. Show me where the ending